Hello, this is my Browning Buckmark 22 rimfire pistol, and this is a custom stock I made to convert this into an ultra short compact carbine. Skip to the latter part of the video if you just want to see it in action, but for the rest of this video I'll go through how I converted a UK legal pistol into an ultra short carbine, Bullpup carbine. Okay, so going back to the pistol. Now I'm not going to go through the whole UK firearms law in this video. There are plenty of other videos by other YouTubers who will explain why we have what we have. But suffice to say, here in the UK, this is as short or as small as a gun you can get. And I know you can get other ones, but they're different. And they're this size because by UK law it has to have a 12-inch barrel and be over 24 inches in length. And just to illustrate my point, I've got my AR-15 here, which is chambered in 9mm, but essentially it's the same gun. It's got a 12-inch barrel, and even with a collapsible stock it doesn't come anything more than about 24 inches, and it's a little bit more actually, it's probably more like 26, but this is a little comparison. So here is the stock partially assembled, and you can see the pistol is pretty much totally unaltered, and you can see how I've taken advantage of how the pistol and the extension bar are laid out. So whilst it's still 24 inches or 610mm long, by moving the butt plate forward you have an effective length or working length of the gun of about 18 inches. So your shoulder's here, but the gun is still 24 inches long. Now, the overall construction of the stock, it's all aluminium, and it's basically two large plates cut out with a hacksaw and holes and slots drilled, and the gun is pretty much slotted or slides between the two, and it's all bolted together with a hell of a lot of bolts. I've got a little rod here which serves as a cocking handle, and it's ambidextrous. The trigger mechanism is this little bar here which just brings it forward by about 8 inches, and other than that it really is a very simple design but works very effectively. Okay, so looking on the left hand side of the gun, most of the controls are on this side. The original slide release and safety are here. You can even pull back the slide here, and picking up on the original magazine release, I've got this transfer bar making it easy to release the magazines like that. So taking a closer look at the fore end here, you'll see I designed it to be deliberately oversized, so I had plenty of room to grab the gun. So I've got plenty of choices basically at the bottom here or at the top. Think of it as a fore end which has been moved down by about 60 degrees. I basically wanted plenty of options to grab the gun here instead of being tempted to grab the gun at the front here. Also serves as a trigger guard connected with the grip, and at some point I do intend to add a clip at the bottom here so it can act as a storage area for extra mags. And also these two pylons I have at the top here, at some point I will be fitting a green dot laser and possibly a little flashlight. Okay, so going over some of the good and bad points then. Well, first of all, this is just so much fun to shoot. It really is, it's great. I really don't think, or I certainly haven't seen anything as compact as this here in the UK. That still remains within the legal definitions of a rifle. It really does lend itself to being able to switch between multiple targets really quickly, pretty much as you would get in any practical shooting competition. And secondly, another thing which I've found only after shooting it is actually the extension bar at the back here. I've found this is really useful when it comes to shooting this, because once I tuck it up under the arm here, and with a good cheek weld, it really does lock the gun into the shoulder. So much so that shooting it one-handed is really easy. It really is quite stable, and being so compact as well, shooting it one-handed is really easy. Which, as anyone who shoots a lot of practical competitions will know, this leaves your weak hand free to manipulate any obstacles you might find on a course of fire that may have been worked into the course of fire, something you might have to move or shift, as well as changing magazines and still being able to shoot. That's really quite useful and unexpected as well. I thought this would get in the way, but actually it proves to be really useful. Okay, on to the bad points. Well, first and foremost, it is quite heavy. It comes in at about 7 or 8 pounds, a little over 3.5 kilos, something like that. Being a nice, short, compact gun, you don't really feel it too much, but if I shoot one-handed for a while, it is quite heavy. I mean, it's pretty much the weight of an AR-15, really. Now, another bad point, although I wouldn't really call it a bad point, it's just a severely limiting factor, is the standard Browning Buckmark magazines, which are the standard 10-round mags, and they only come in 10 rounds. So I do find myself changing mags a lot, especially going alongside other people's 2.2 competition rifles, which may have 25, 30 round mags. It's not bad, but it doesn't help. I am looking at making a 20 round version, but that's not finished yet. So that's pretty much it. Now I've got some video on shooting it.